physical attraction, but your mind satisfaction. Baby, you're more than just a friend. And if I ever in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And if I ever in love so true, I will be sure that the lady's just like you.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WeFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, today the time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 14 minutes on to 9 o'clock. It's now time for Dr. Gerald Thompson with his commentary this morning. Doc, and please remind me to ask your question in the talk to us.
I'll remind you to ask me the question.
In talk to us? Okay.
Yes. You know, Roleza sometimes puts out some suggestions of things that we can talk about, things that seem to be hot. And I thought something still related to cricket was worthy of a discussion. And that is the Surinam Airlines landed in St. Vincent, I think for the first time, and really as a charter, bringing a number of cricket personnel and teams here for that CPL. Now, over the weekend, I was reviewing to some degree the life of Alan Stanford, you know, and the con that was involved. Him landing his helicopter at Lord's and coming up with a trunk that it was supposed to have, I think, $20 million or something like that, which was later proven that it was only the top layer of the money was real, the rest of it was fake money. And I hearken back to the days, what I call the golden days of cheap travel, when the competition between Caribbean Star and Liat allow you to slip over to Barbados in St. Lucia, down to Trinidad. It was wonderful. I think I would have loved to have seen the numbers of Caribbean travelers and how we integrated, how we got to games, how we got, to carnivals across the region, and how we got to music festivals. And
students who...
I must say I miss that. The reason why is that currently there are a number of airlines available in the Caribbean region. The key airline services the region, of course, are Inter-Caribbean Airlines, Caribbean Airlines, Sunrise Airways. Do you know Sunrise Airways?
I think I heard of it.
Have you heard of Maka, Sunrise Airways?
I heard of Sunrise, yeah.
And then the major ones, American and JetBlue and Delta and so forth. Now, I really welcome Surinam Airlines introduction, even though it was a charter. And I think it said there are prospects that discussions will take place as regards, them operating those services. I don't know if anyone has ever been to Surinam. Maka, have you been to Surinam?
No.
Roleza, such a wonderful place. As a matter of fact, when I went there, I went up into the jungle, I would say, to meet with the Maroons, right? And Suriname is also on course, on the border, not just with Guyana, but on the border with Brazil and so forth. And the traffic of human beings that go across there. But it's a wonderful, place. Paramaribo, it's an old town. It reminds me a little of St. Kitts. They're wooden houses, Dutch style and so. But it is said that there may be a demand of people from Suriname who typically would be Dutch, Netherlands oriented, coming to the Caribbean. And I welcome that. I wish that, that's sort of their mainland, right, South American, and coming to island. Suriname has these rivers. They're what called wine rivers. Whereas our rivers, you could see stone at the bottom, and you can see fish swimming sometimes. Their rivers are all dark because they have the leaves, the pigment of the leaves and so forth have colored the rivers as being like wine. And I bring this up because clearly in the interview and on One News, on the same SVG Times, the Tourism Authority in Safia, London, has lauded this as being something of a potential springboard, and I hope that it works. Whether or not people come from Suriname and South America, and that's a route in this direction to the Caribbean, I also think that it's wonderful to be able to have another charter service so that at the time of carnivals, you are able to hire this charter service that is now going to serve that route to a music festival or to a carnival and help to increase the capacity for getting there. And I'm sure that will help to reduce prices and so. There are other airlines such as Sunrise. They're a company out of Haiti. I remember traveling with them. They were created in 2010. I remember traveling with them, not a bad airline. And of course, there's Executive Air, which is a little bit more expensive and so. So the region really misses the competition. And I'm really hoping that entities can come in and try to see how there can be cheap travel. At this time of high oil prices and fuel prices, I'm sure there's going to be challenges with profitability, but I miss those good old days.
I remember when we used to have Stanford. Persons used to book flight and go on trader for the weekend.
And I remember for us, as UE students, it was so much easier to just hop on a plane back and forth. Well, I didn't do it, but it was cheaper to just be able to go back and forth as opposed to having to wait till the end of the term and that kind of thing.
One of the experiences that I remember is sitting in cabinet and Alan Stanford arrives to meet the cabinet. And afterwards, Alan Stanford made an expression that he felt uneasy around Ralph Gonsalves. And this was at his heyday, but it was a snide remark. But ex-Prime Minister Gonsalves said he doesn't necessarily trust Stanford. I don't know if he had background information. I don't know if he had an inkling or whether it was just intuition. But shortly after, Alan Stanford fell from grace. And the Ponzi scheme that he was involved in was exposed. And Alan, Prime Minister, was one of only a few individuals who basically came out and did not trust him. That's why I think he was so focused on Liat, because he may have felt that Caribbean Star would not last. The bubble would burst at some stage. And it didn't take until the opening of our International Airport for him then to look at our own services, American and so coming in, to the chagrin of Liat. But I say that to say I still miss the glory days of cheaper Caribbean travel that would have allowed me to slip over to another island or go somewhere to see a relative, just to go and see what's happening
just
to our
breeze for a
neighbors.
weekend.
And You know, it's not that St. Vincent is bad. I love St. Vincent. But also for people to visit St. Vincent and enjoy what we have to offer. That's my commentary this morning. I just wanted to add that. And remind you, Maka, your question. But Roleza, I think you all chip in there first.
Yeah, no, Maka, question, you want to
No,
talk
I
to
asked
us?
my question and you talk to us.
Okay. No, yesterday, during the It's Your Hand program, and even before then, when in that clip from, well, yeah, I mean, it was a good program yesterday, but I was actually going to talk about the part from the clip from Win Calendar.
The news.
The news.
Is that going to be a common feature? I thought it was pretty long, you know?
It has been happening for a couple of weeks, yeah.
It has been happening for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It goes on for about 15, 20 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh?
You say in it. I'm cheating you, but the in it part.
Okay,
Sounded very British a while ago. Just that little piece there.
Apologies, I'm
But I
Vincent.
think
No, it's
that's the
fine.
normal
I'm
length of
Vincent.
time.
Yeah.
I think that's the normal length of time
Oh,
when calendar do the comment.
I just thought it was extensive. After a while, I lost a little intro. It was just too long, you know. I switched off for a while and came back to the
Okay.
program. I got to say that. I got to admit that.
Okay.
You know, I might be criticized for that, but I
Well, it's your
no,
opinion.
the first few things, you know, the first news is hot, and then it
Mm.
starts getting into certain other things, and so I'm not sure really should have made the grade.
Okay. All right, let's say the call. I'll finish my thoughts after.
Hello, morning.
Hey, good morning, Maka. Good morning, Roleza. Good morning,
Morning.
Doc.
Morning.
Just jumping into correct life, something we stated early on. We stated that there's no T10 cricket in St. Vincent, but VPL that has been played here since COVID. That is T10 cricket. He probably missed that.
Okay.
Yes, my dear.
I was wondering if you mean international.
Well, it's kind of international because we have international players. We have those Australians, and we have Fletcher. All these guys coming in and so on and things. So and they're international cricketers.
Right.
Well, it could be. I only train that.
Okay.
It could be.
All right. My mind running you the other day. I was wondering how you're doing because I haven't been hearing from you, but glad to hear that. Hear you.
I'm always listening, my dear. Trust
Okay.
me.
All right. Good.
I'm being activated in the morning.
Very good. Very good. All right. Have a good one.
You too, my dear.
Thanks.
Cheers.
All right. All right. So, all right. Let me take my good friend. Dave, morning.
Hey, good morning. Let me say good morning to the doc. Good to have him on board as a tourism, what should I say? Well, he's no minister. I don't think he can get that ministerial post until whenever again. But I am happy to hear him, you know, sounding like a current.
Dave, why you had to be like this? Why?
No, I allow Dave. I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it. Dave, go ahead, please.
The
Dave.
call reconnected.
Oh, he's reconnecting.
Yeah.
Dave, internet. Dave on the phone. I think we need to go over and show Dave how to use a cell phone. How
No,
to
I
connect.
think it might be his internet or something.
It may be his internet, but you
Yeah.
know those first few seconds you gotta wait and all that static.
Well, you
and
go
so
and
forth.
visit Dave. After all, is your friend?
Yeah. Dave
Go
is my
visit friend and teach him.
Dave is my friend. I think we need, but you know, I may not be the best teacher and so forth in that way. he may not learn from me. He may need a female to learn from.
Well, you could probably
Yeah, you
send
Maka?
somebody
Don't
who
you get a
you know
sense?
who's
And you prefer a female, you
who's
more appreciate.
technically inclined. Anyways,
Yeah.
the point that I was going to make, somebody there, Maka. The point that, okay, Dave is back. Let's see if we could get him. And all right, Dave, go ahead. Dave, you have like a minute of piece, because yeah.
Well, before I was rudely interrupted there by whoever, whatever it means, and so on. Yeah, it's good to hear Dr. Thompson. Makes me feel as though he's part of this new dispensation. The way, and that's how I want to hear our nationals, especially those who are educated, intelligent, and so on. That's why I love to hear you sell our country, and whatever we have to offer. Something you said though about countries recently. Which one you said you were? Huh?
Say that again.
Shucks.
Dave, say that again.
You hear me?
Yeah, hearing you now. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was saying. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are. No, we're not. All right.
I'll contemplate going, or maybe I have somebody go and check out Dave and give him
I
some.
think it might be instant. All right. So, Dave, we see you're calling back. We would take that up and talk to us. The point that I was going to make, we realized that, well, from the news last week, it was applicable to Grenada, and I can't remember which other country. I think it might have been Antigua and Barbuda as well, where persons applying for the B1 and I think B2 visas, they now have to, I think in essence, put up like a $10,000
bond.
Bond is the word.
And contribute $20,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I read that, what came to me is, there's always, I know persons visit the US for various reasons, right? Yeah. It's not just to visit, it's not just to possibly try to live there. But when it is that I thought of that, I keep saying, well, mentally, that we need to be able to push regional travel a lot more. And when we're looking at Surinam Airways coming on Saturday, it's one of those things that we need to be able to market and to push. I don't know if it might be through the use of, let's say, travel agencies or a travel agent, in terms of let us having that reciprocal type of visits where, okay, so we go to Suriname, as in you maybe decide next month, end of month, whenever you can, that we organize a package group to be able to go. Because I think one of the things that is missing from most of us in the Caribbean is that we tend to look or consider travel outside of the region as the first priority and not necessarily within the region. So, it's just one of those things that came to me, because what happened? Do we still have the Venezuela?
Well.
The Venezuela flight? I think there was once a Venezuela.
Yes,
Is either Venezuela or Cuba?
Yes, Venezuela and Cuba, there were flights. But let me say, how many Vincentians do you know in St. Kitts? And how many Vincentians do you know in Jamaica? You may know a few. But if I were to ask you how many of your relatives are in the States or Canada, we've built up large populations in the diaspora. And therefore, our old friends, especially now we're reconnecting with Facebook and all that kind of thing, get in there and somebody pick you up and take you around and carry you Statue of Liberty and this, that. There is, and you have barbecues this with friends. There is something about international travel.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it,
that is appealing. But I want to totally agree with you, because we do know people, and we need to foster that greater relationship within that CARICOM type structure, where we get to know, because we're friendly. You get there, you get to know people, you make friends, and you invite them back down and all that kind of thing. And I think we need to do a lot more of that. Unfortunately, the travel across the region, going to Trinidad, is just so expensive.
Yeah.
And the time factors to get to certain places, reaching St. Kitts, go Barbados, wait. Go up to Antigua, wait. Then go down to St. Kitts.
Doc, you know what's ridiculous? Flight from here to St. Lucia.
How much is it? I haven't checked it out.
I believe that is over $1,000.
What I noticed on the weekend, because Grenada has its carnival happening right now, there are some persons who went down by boat. And I mean, sometimes we just have to, be a little bit more creative. Well, not necessarily creative. Maybe that's not the right thing to say. But rather than, let's say, taking a flight down, Grenada there for us,
They've been talking about that for a long time. And a few months ago, CARICOM and with Trinidad still as the lead, was talking about interregional travel and so on. And I really hope that it comes forward. I would love it. I would go on it.
But I wonder if it will be profitable.
It can be profitable. It can be profitable.
price point is what is
And
important.
I think we brought it up at a conversation we had. I would love if I would even get a car on a boat. You know what I mean? And if I had a regional, I said, and I know I could spend a couple of days, I could get around.
I guess something like the biker boys during independence, because they
Biker
come
boys.
they come, but not just the biker boys, but other vehicles. They
Yeah.
come to the country, and you just have to do that whole.
Yes.
Do they do the full inspection? But maybe not.
And you know,
but yeah.
especially within the OECS, my ID card basically will work.
Yeah.
So I don't need a passport and all that kind of thing. And so I slip over to St. Lucia. I mean, there was I once left Chateaubriand and took a boat up to St. Lucia. You know what I mean? And I really enjoyed it. I mean, the waves were a little rough on that particular boat, but a bigger boat, I tell you something, I think it would be smooth sailing.
Yeah. But it's just one of those.
I think it's the time. People may be watching in terms of.
No, remember, you know, you
you
get
mean-
to the boat. You get to the boat half an hour or so before, instead of having to get to the airline 3 hours before, right? You get to the boat, just they go back way. You know, you get there and the ramp is about to be pulled up, and you jump over on the ramp, and you get on the boat.
Yeah, but Doc Parsons might be watching. Okay, if I take a plane from here to Trinidad, it's only what, 35 minutes?
Yes, but then
But if they take
you
the
are
boat-
way out. You are way out. If you're doing business in Port of Spain, you're way out. You then got to get thing to come in and so forth. The
but
total journey.
If you take a boat from St. Vincent to Trinidad, how much hours it take you?
I'm not sure, but I think maybe
About
3 hours or so.
Yeah,
3,
but
4.
the boat
3
comes
hours?
up
But
overnight.
two-
Yeah, but there's a boat
It's
that
not
comes up.
overnight.
There's-
It's not a night thing.
Yeah.
From here to Trinidad?
There's a boat
Well,
that leaves
but somebody
Trinidad
may-
in the night, and Friday night and gets up here in the morning.
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, somebody may tell us how many hours and so forth it takes.
Yeah.
But if it's a cargo boat, but if it is a fast ferry, look at how we used to go down to the Grenadines, and it used to take 2 hours to go down. And then with a fast ferry, you're down in what? 30 minutes and so forth with ease.
I mean, people might understand that, but in terms of going
it's
Trinidad,
the promotion. It's
Yeah,
the promotion.
I think so. I think it's how it's marketed as well. And
most persons might still take the flight.
No, but the 3 hours that I have to wait, and then coming out of immigration and so forth, and this,
hearing flight delayed and all of that.
flight delay.
Yeah, but people, Doc, I don't think people will mind that though.
No,
People-
man.
But at
You
least
know,
having the option is good, Maka.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
people still
Let me tell you something.
people will still be looking at time.
What are you talking about?
But then if you know that you're passing the time with friends or you're using the time to sleep, then it's okay. It might be days, you're missing a day for travel, depending on where you go, right? You're missing a day for travel, but you would make up for that with saving money to be able to spend wherever it is that you're going.
It'd be cheaper,
Yeah.
and the total time is roughly going to be the same because of the time you have to take to get to the airport, check in your bags if it's long lines, then go immigrate. And if it's around that time, you know, lines could be outside, you know, and then you're sitting on upside there. If there's any delays in flight, you bet. And then flying down there, fine, short. The flight itself is short. And then coming out in immigration and getting your bag and this, that, and so forth. You're talking about 5 hours.
But you know,
Doc,
I've
it
told
will be-
5 hours.
It will be interesting to see. But
I would have to step off the boat.
I doubt
I would have to
people-
step off the boat. I'm in Port of Spain.
People will still take
I wish
the flight.
Nicole was
People
on
will
and so
still
forth.
take the flight.
persons know what no. My thing in life,
what
you
you
always
talking
need
about?
options.
This-
Having
this is how-
options is always good.
This is how it used to happen.
Yeah.
Because
Back
taking
in
a
the
ferry
day.
from here, go to Trinidad, it might take you
What are you
about
talking
roughly
about? Do you know?
over 9
Do you know?
hours for
In
sure.
the 50s, I had uncles and so forth who used to be a long boat. So, to go from Chateaubriand to Kingston, you take a long boat, and they row you up, right? You come up for a party. I understand. My mother said you come up for a party. They come up by boat, and then they going back down at at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night and so forth. Yeah, by boat. Back and that's fun. That's fun.
But I always tell Maka
Don't knock
that.
it.
On a ferry, right? They would take you about 9 hours to go down from here to Trinidad.
But then you
No.
know that you're okay. But
No,
it might
No.
take so long. But the thing of it, Maka, is if you already know that this is the amount of time that you're going to be spending on that boat, then you would find things to do. Or you just go sleep.
I understand, but still, I just believe people will just take the 30,
Yeah.
the 30,
I
30
understand what you're
35
saying.
minutes flight down, and that's it.
When I was 3.5, 4 years old, my brother, sister, and I, we left St. Vincent to go to England. We went on a boat called the Ascania. It took us from here down, I think, to Curacao, then to Guyana, then over to Colombia, then up to Jamaica, and so. It took us,
So picking up people along the way.
it seems so.
Okay.
I mean, I was 3.5 years old, and we were in a cabin deep down in the belly. I remember seeing the porthole and water, at that level there. And then we landed in Southampton and reunited with my mother and father, because we were staying. Our aunt took us up there. But it seemed as if we spent years on the boat. Yes,
You probably did.
I mean, I grew up at 3.5. I grew a beard on the boat. Yes, I'm saying. I'm joking when I say that. I don't want Dave call back and so forth. Say I lie and so forth and so. But
Yeah, but for me, one of the ways I always say I want to get around all of this is to go on a cruise. Like as I always tell Maka, next thing I want to do is go on a cruise, but I want for it to be a cruise in the Caribbean.
You've never been on a cruise?
Doc, send me the ticket, that's all you had to do, send me the ticket. But let me just finish
You hear what listen.
Right,
You hear what she said?
Yeah.
Send her the ticket. She ain't saying, let's go. You understand? She ain't saying, let us. Everybody, all you hear that? Send her the ticket. She can't. Go be
All
careful.
right, Doc, let's go.
Oh my God. No, because you're in trouble now.
Let's go.
You hear trouble? You hear trouble? Oh my gosh, boy. I can't let that one down.
Yeah, but
Remember,
for me,
I should teach her mother, So please don't. It's sacrilege, you know what I mean?
no.
I
we
should teach
could
her
go.
mother and run with her father. Don't say that.
But we could go. You just go. What it is? You book in separate rooms and all of that.
No, same room. Come on.
How we gonna be same room? No,
Why?
Maka. No,
Why?
no. We're not encouraging that.
Wait,
No.
what are you encouraging?
He goes, we could be in the same room, have a bunk bed.
Exactly.
A bunk bed.
You know what? Let me end this segment, folks. It's 9:12. All right, way over time. Let me go to this.
She started it today.
WEFM, the clean fresh sound.